Okay, let's get going. I thought I'd make a little video of my work history. Uh, Everybody's got to work, have a job, earn a living. And it's way worse today than it was in my day, So there was jobs and everything, but I thought I'd just run you through this thing, and maybe it might help or give somebody some idea what you got to contend with and everything. Well, when I come out of the Navy, within, I would say, 2 days, maybe the next day, I didn't take any time off. I went with an electrical contractor. Got a job, I guess my father, because they were working at the plant. He was a boss at the plant. But one of the names of the contractor I went with, he was just in it. He had the connection at the plant and all. His name was right in it, in their title. So I went with them. I worked with them for a little bit, and then I guess my dad must have had some influence on it and all. Said, bugged him at the plant. Why are we... This guy whose name was in there was just in the lab. But he was a big shot. And he had the connection. That's why they were... And, the real owner, who's a name guy, he was married to the head guy's daughter. So now you kind of get the picture. So, okay. They gave me a job at the plant, and I lasted there 12 years. I worked there 12 years. Then I got the brainstorm, and we were doing a newspaper route and everything, and I got the brainstorm to buy a bar. And that failed. We'll call it failed. I didn't like it and everything. Now I'm out of that. Now I got to get a job again. And before I even sold it, I guess I tried to get back in what I had just left. But the guy interceded, and they didn't take me back. That's the kind of stuff that can happen to you. See, I had kind of stabbed them in the back when I left them. That company, that contractor, went with the plant. They remembered that all those years, 12 years later. They didn't take me back. That's besides, okay, I'm not coming back there, that's it. So I went to this Sunshine Biscuits. And now going over, now I realize Sunshine Biscuits was an in-between stop a couple of times then. Because I went to Sunshine Biscuits, I'm working there, and I've still got the bar. And I didn't give Sunshine Biscuits my best effort. I'm exhausted from the bar and everything, trying to sell it, and them dying days, But a guy, I must have probably sold it by then. And I wasn't there long. I was in a few months. And a guy said to me he could get in a union, the electrical union, as soon as he learns a little bit more. Well, I thought, I'm not. What's the connection? You get to have a phone number. What's the connection? Okay. He gives me the number. I excused myself and I went right to the phone. What's this deal? So I made the call. And I gotta go south on Highway 9. There's 4 gas stations or something. A gas station on every corner it was. And turn there or what. And Yeah. And bring $1,000 with you. But I'm gonna be in them. Yeah, you got. Yeah, he got the $1,000 in a paper bag, but I wasn't really in. I was what do you call an out-of-towner. So I go to the Union Hall. I figure I'm in. I'm not in. But they put me to work. And all that time I was considered an out-of-towner. There was 2 guys got taken in that time frame. I didn't get to meet anybody. They had to take people in. You couldn't get into that no matter what back then. You couldn't no matter what. The only ones got in were the sons of members got in at that time. And they had the amount of people. They had 800 or 900, I picked numbers out of a hat, but my version of it. 800 or 900 guys working. 800 or 900. And 200 in the local. The other 600 or so were out-of-towners. Well, the international come down and they said that you will take in, I don't know if it was 25 or 50. 50. It was 50. It made them take them in. But I'd only been around on one job for a little while, and I didn't make in that glorious. They had to take them in. A year later or 2 years later, once I was known, I would have been within the first 3. But I missed it. So you win some and you lose some, and the breaks eventually come in life. And you got to make your own breaks. And you had to struggle. You're an out-of-towner. all the way through. So one day, the business agent calls me in the office. He says, I want you to go out here with this guy and do the best you can. Now it turned out that this guy that I'm about to meet used to live with the business agent, and he lived with this guy, Richie. You know? So I'm about to meet Richie. And what was going on is the guy on the job went on vacation, and it wasn't a big job. It was a little shopping center and finish it and everything. So Richie wound up there. He's the only one, and so they sent somebody out with some brains to help finish it. Not meaning that Richie don't have any brains, but Richie was a number of things. He was a bartender. He was a bookie. That's the first thing. Bookie. He owned cabs. He did all these different things. And the last thing was electrician. The very last. And he's friends with the business. I didn't know it. And it's going to be beneficial for me. It's going to be beneficial. But that's the deal. I go out and I meet Richie. But this again, so now I'm going to be able to start telling you some Richie stories. But that's a little bit down the road, because Richie was one heck of a guy, one heck of a person. But that's further down the road. This is about the work life. Now, things got bad eventually. I worked there quite a while. I worked 12 years on construction as an out-of-towner. My sons got in the right way and everything, but those were them days. Me, so I laid the groundwork, so to speak. I laid the groundwork for the future. It was bad if there was bad times, just like there is today. There isn't any. If you're in the local, you're gonna have a bad time. But when you're an out-of-towner, you're last. You're the last one on the list. even with the connection. Even with that connection, which was beautiful. That connection was beautiful. But we were last. So, bad times. Nothing. An ad in the paper. Sunshine Biscuits. Sunshine Biscuits. I wonder if they'd rehire me. I go to Sunshine Biscuits, and here's the Bailey Luck again. Steps in and intercedes. Who comes out to interview me but a guy that I got hired with 12 years ago? Marks. He's the boss. The end culmination, you got the job. Only one thing. You're not going to leave me now, are you? No. I'm not going to leave you. I need the job. I'm not going to leave you. So it was shifts. I'm on last shift. My starting week, last shift. I worked 3 days. 3 days. I come out. I hit the fresh air. I went to the Union Hall. The connection says, come here a minute. Calls me over. I got something for you. Now? Maybe you could do both. I just got this job. Maybe you could do both then. I go out to the job. It's pitch dark. Pitch black. What kind of place is this? Guy comes out of the darkness. He's the foreman. He says, where do you see this? Terrible fire. Aluminum wire all burnt up. This thing's gonna be some money here. Overtime. Bad fire. Perfect. And he had sent me out there. So now I had worked all night. Now I worked all day. Now I'm going home. I'm supposed to go to Sunshine. I says, I know where I'm going. I'm going directly to bed. But I called Richie. I says, get down there tomorrow. He'll probably send you out there with me. The next morning, here they come, bringing up the rear. Here comes the other out-of-towner with the connection. Richie. Sunshine, I had worked 3 days. I called in sick. Then the next thing I seen him with the money, I had to make the decision. That's it. I worked 3 days and quit. Almost ashamed to go and get my tools. But I went and got my tools. And then eventually we hit bad period again. And there was an A at Carter Wallace, CW. I was going by, past it every day. I went there, and I lasted 23 years there. The guy interviewed me. You've got an electrical license. You were in the Navy, and you went to school in the Navy. You got a license. You're close. You're where? Right here. Perfect. You're hired. And I lasted 23 years at Carter Wallace. And when I left Carter Wallace, at the age of 66, the boss, June, July, and August. Now, I'd been home for a week with my wife and everything. And I said, Jack, I'm going to give you a quick answer. Yes. He says, how about September? No. It's getting too close to hunting season. And I left and retired. Then I had a knee operation. I went with my nephew just to get moving. I went with him. And the second day I said, why am I going there? I don't need to go there. Why am I going to go there? And his words was, try it, you'll like it. So I went. Just for his sake. I wound up staying there 5 years until I was 71. Then I had the heart operation. So that's the deal. That's the work life. I brought you up to date a little bit about what went down there. Okay.